Eleanor Sturko posted this. A letter delivered to Richmond residents on behalf of the Premier's office seems to acknowledge that private property owners may already be experiencing impacts on mortgages, refinancing, property sales, or permits as a result of the Cowichan Tribes versus Canada decision. You can't have a province or a state or a country operating like this. I mean, it's madness. I mean, there'll be no investment. The money's all going to flood out. British Columbia would simply become British Columbia would just become the third world. It would become very, very poor because nothing will happen here if you just give all the land away. And these are, tribal bands that are, I mean, you're talking, sometimes it's like 50 people, 90 people. It's total insanity. And all of BC is up for grabs, by the way. Almost the entire province. Cowichan decision. Information and support for local residents. Hello, my name is Christine, and I'm your Government of British Columbia community contact in the Premier's office. My role is to work directly with Richmond residents and small businesses potentially affected by the recent Cowichan title lands decision. So while all this was going on, by the way, nobody told the locals. Nobody told the people whose land is there, whose land is affected. Nobody did. I'll be in the area throughout November to listen, blah, 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 how I can help. Listen to your experiences, including any impacts on mortgages, refinancing, property sales, or permits. Because people are already saying that they can't get their mortgage re-upped, that people are having problems with these because, well, who owns the land? Do they even own the land? Still up in the air now. This is lunacy. Canada is crazy. Here's an indigenous law firm called OKT. And they've released their summary of the Cowichan land claim. Let's take a look at this. Aboriginal title is a prior and senior right to land. It is not estate granted by the Crown, but rooted in prior occupation. It is constitutionally protected. The question of what remains of Aboriginal title after the granting of fee simple title to the same lands should be reversed. And again, fee simple means just private property. The proper question is, what remains of fee simple title after Aboriginal title is recognized in the same lands? That means they want it. They want it all. All right. Notably, the Land Title Act does not prevent Aboriginal title holders from challenging the validity of fee simple grants. This just simply can't happen. Like, there is a route to just stopping all this, although it's long and complicated. You can't simply give away an entire province. You just can't. Again, everything will flood. Every penny that will flood out of this province. Nobody's going to invest anything here. It's going to be a total disaster, and it would become just a third world country. Well, not even a third world province. Maybe Canada would just shed it at that point. Say, actually, you have to be independent. To try and buy the land back would just totally bankrupt the country. So no, I mean, this is lunacy. This is where suicidal empathy takes you, and it's madness. So, private property rights BC from Cat Canada. Ross, why is Carney so quiet when people are so anxious about their homes? It's not just in BC. They want a giant piece of Quebec. They want, I think, a large part of New Brunswick as well. These are places so-called unceded where there's no treaties. The rest of Canada does have treaties, but look, we know with activist judges, none of that actually means anything. Activist judges don't actually care about the law. They care about being activists. So everybody in Canada should be nervous about this.
Premier Irby says the court decided not to provide Richmond homeowners with notice of the Cowichan court litigation, but the Cowichan lawyer said the judge in the case said the parties were free to provide notice of this litigation to private landowners years ago. This includes Canada as represented by the Attorney General. Canada has been and still is missing in action. Why is the Prime Minister being so quiet at a time when people are anxious about their homes and looking for answers?
This really is a catastrophe for the country. Like, it's impossible to overstate how catastrophic this is. Alberta independence is nothing compared to this. It is surreal. This is the damage that can be done to your country when you let radical leftists take over. This is the damage that happens when every institution is taken over by radical leftists. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.